Our Tuesday night ACC Network doubleheader continues right down Tobacco Road here at the Dean Dome, home to the freshman phenom Caleb Wilson and number 12 North Carolina. The Tar Heels taking on East Tennessee State out of the SoCon tonight. Terrence Oglesby, Jay Alter with you. North Carolina 10 games into this season, and the Tar Heels have shown they've got one of the best front courts in all of college basketball.
And college basketball has a lot of great front courts, but these guys right here play so well together. A unique combination in that they'll run some 5-4 pick and roll sets. And here's the deal. That's 14 feet worth of pick and roll. These guys are outstanding. Caleb Wilson could be a top 5 pick in the draft, should be a top 5 pick in the draft through what he's shown so far this season. They're in for a contest today, though, but that 4-5 combo is something different in Chapel Hill.
It's Henry Vasar who gets the honors to do the tip tonight. Carolina in the home white. We are underway in Chapel Hill, and it's North Carolina that starts with the basketball. Our officials, Pat Driscoll, Jerry Heater, and Chase Shaw tonight. And here's Caleb Wilson in attack mode early.
First thing you'll notice, Jay, this ETSU defense, one of the best in their league. They're long, they're athletic, and they're active.
Wilson knocks down the triple to open the scoring.
Doesn't matter if you've got 6'10" seeing over the top. Terrific shot. That's the one thing he doesn't do, Jay. He steps out his game, brings it out to the three-point line. I'm not sure what you can do.
You mentioned ETSU is long for the SoCon, but they are short tonight. Their tallest player, Jordan McCullum, is 6'8". That is smaller than 3 Tar Heel starters, but McCullum, right on cue, knocks down a triple of his own. The North Carolina starting 5 still without Seth Trimble, making progress though. He was at 5-on-5 practice yesterday. Tar Heels have fared well without him. Vasar, nice turnaround with the left hand.
Come on, going old school. He's not your prototypical always back to the basket guy. He flourishes when he's a little further away. Still has that in his game though.
They go right back to McCollum. Why not? Nothing but the bottom of the net. Jordan McCullum's got all 5 early for the Bucks.
Jordan McCullum's an interesting kid. Transferred from Murray State. This is a guy that was a top 150 recruit in his class. He has that natural ability to create a little bit off the bounce.
There's ETSU head coach Brooks Savage, year number 3 as head coach of the Buccaneers. No stranger to the ACC, an assistant for Steve Forbes at Wake Forest for 3 seasons, and he's got his group dialed in on defense to start this season.
He absolutely does. This is a team that forces steals, live ball turnovers on just under 15% of possessions. They're aggressive to the ball, and you'll see how quickly they flood whenever there's a ball handler.
Alan Struthers called for a reach-in. This is a defense, you don't get those statistical numbers if you don't gamble a little bit. So Brooks Savage, he'll live with a foul call or 2. Going to be very aggressive tonight on the defensive end. Evans, good feet inside. Vasar puts it up and in. And the Buccaneers have no answer for the 7-footer.
Been big and big here early. 2 for Vasar, corner triple. Caleb Wilson.
Well, they have showed up in the opening 2 minutes of this game, the best front court statistically in all of college basketball. Averaging 35 points per game, 20 rebounds per game. Tallest player on the floor for ETSU at 6'8" McCollum. He's got all 5. Shot clock down to 4. Great cut. Blake Barkley, the Morgantown, West Virginia native.
It's going to be a reoccurring theme tonight. ETSU trying to run long possessions, keep the possessions low for the entirety of this game. The deeper into the shot clock they go, the happier Brooks Savage is going to be.
And like Tony Bennett, Virginia teams, they're comfortable playing at the end of the shot clock. Trying to make North Carolina uncomfortable playing these long possessions for a Tar Heel team that wants to turn it into a track meet.
See a lot of dribbling. The only guy that has the ultimate green light is McCullum. But you'll see, very hesitant to make something happen quickly. They're going to use the entire clock. Travel. But here's the thing. Turnover ETSU, that's fine. Buccaneers still get to set their defense. Dead ball turnovers you're willing to live with.
Brooks Savage fired up. Tied at 7 in the opening 3 minutes. Well, this is an ETSU team that's very comfortable in their half-court defense. How does North Carolina need to attack it tonight?
You know what's interesting? In games prior, ETSU's gotten out, hedged ball screens hard, switched, and really tried to create turnovers. So far, through the first few possessions, they're not hedging these ball screens. They're playing it flat. Interested to see how North Carolina changes up their style a little bit offensively.
Shot clock ticks down to 7. Kyan Evans in trouble. Fires a contested 3. Nothing but air. Another good defensive possession by the road team.
A lot of time. You see a team get a couple of stops against North Carolina, they get excited. Not ETSU. They're going to call sets for most of this game and try to keep possessions low like we talked about.
Taylor fires a 3. Can't connect.
This, in my opinion, Jay, why North Carolina is so dangerous. They have so many guys that can grab and go, and they can play quick. Excellent pass by Stevenson.
Evans, no good, but Caleb Wilson, as he often is, there to clean up the spill.
Just so athletic. Bounces off the floor. Caleb Wilson. It's hard to find a comparison. Some have said Marvin Williams. Some around Carolina have said Anton Jamison. Quick double team. You got to slide down.
Count it, plus the foul. Blake Barkley will go to the line with an opportunity to give ETSU the lead when we come back.
ETSU, they're here to play. Taking their time, evaluating the double team. You got to drop. Bogovats needs to wake up a little bit. Carolina tied here.
Just getting started. Tuesday night ACC Network doubleheader. This is game number 2 after Duke took care of Lipscomb earlier this evening, although Lipscomb went up 26-16 in that game at Cameron Indoor right down the road. You never know what can happen in Brooks Savage and ETSU from Johnson City, Tennessee. They are hoping they can pull the upset tonight, and they've started on the front foot.
Well, they're a team that's tough defensively. That's first and foremost. Picked 4th in the SoCon preseason polls. I think this team's better than that. ETSU, huge basketball following in Johnson City. They love hoop there in that part of Tennessee.
They've got a great home court advantage. 7-0 this season at home, but they've struggled on the road, 1-3. They've started well tonight in Chapel Hill. Wilson. Pull up pop, missed it. Good defense by Blake Barkley all over the freshman phenom there.
Blake Barkley, number 13 in blue. It's a guy to keep an eye on. He's a Northwestern transfer. Over his last 3 has averaged 17 points a game. Playing some good ball lately.
Taylor. That rolls around the rim but does not drop. North Carolina yet to establish a rhythm in transition. Skip pass way over the head of Jonathan Powell. Eric Dixon, freshman mistake there.
Good news, Jay. The guy in the 4th row was open. Hey, a difference for defense. ETSU, again, and I want to emphasize this, Carolina's walkthrough today, really worried about hard hedging, about trying to get out and create turnovers. ETSU sitting back a little bit further in the half court on the defensive end.
Barkley passes out of the double team. Leads to a good look from 3 off the mark. East Tennessee State working a lot through Blake Barkley, number 13, the redshirt sophomore from Morgantown, West Virginia. We mentioned the head coach, Brooks Savage, spent 3 years on Steve Forbes' staff at Wake Forest. He compared Barkley to an all-ACC player for the Demon Deacons in Jake LaRavia.
And I think that's a pretty good comparison. LaRavia needed to work on his jump shot when he got to Winston-Salem. Barkley kind of along those same lines, but shooting a good ball so far this season.
Barkley commits the foul there. It'll send Caleb Wilson to the line for 2. And one thing Tar Heels fans will definitely have noticed in the first 10 games of this season is Caleb Wilson really good at getting to the foul line. He gets fouled a lot.
Well, Jay, I think it has a lot to do with how hard he works to get correct positioning when they're in the half court. You see him, they call a play a set. He sets his cuts up, and he doesn't chase the ball. And what I mean by that is, if he doesn't get it on the first catch, he continues to work to get deep post positioning and get the ball where he's comfortable. Now, does he settle for a mid-range jump shot or 2? Sure. But this is a guy that understands, I get a little bit closer, I can get to that foul line, and because he's so aggressive and is the aggressor on these possessions, he ends up at the charity stripe.
Well, in every game he's played in a Carolina uniform, he has made 5 or more foul shots. He's got 1 already in the bank tonight. Missed the second. 6 minutes into this first half. ETSU dedicated to the game plan. They want to use long possessions, take that shot clock down to the single digits, and then fire a shot like that 3 way off the mark.
Somebody needs to close the door. Good defense by North Carolina, staying disciplined in the half court, not getting anxious.
Good kick to the corner for 3. It's good. Nothing but the bottom of the net for Derek Dixon.
This really good job by Kyan Evans, getting downhill along that seam. Strong side help, can't do that. Needs to be a show and go. Get back out to the corner. Derek Dixon, the freshman, he just knows how to play ball. Just a solid player, understands his role. Big fan of what he's done so far this season.
Evans alive. He was looking for Wilson. Follows his own pass. Keeps the possession alive. Good job to track that ball down.
I actually thought that was a terrific pass. Wilson just didn't get his footing right. But look at the activity
here. 5 seconds to shoot. Through traffic, rejected. What a stuff. Cam Morris the third. Transition triple. No good. Makai Johnson way off the mark. ETSU, they're letting the threes fly, but not accurately. Just 1 for 5 from deep. Wilson on the floor, ripped away. ETSU has it. How about the hustle for the Buccaneers?
I mean, you see, as soon as it gets to Wilson, everybody swarms to the basketball. If he's going to score, he's going to have to make moves quick in the half court because bodies are coming.
Miscommunication. McCollum wasn't ready for it. Tracks it down with 8 seconds to shoot. ETSU 0 of their last 5 from the floor. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Smith from the logo. Got it! Jalen Smith beats the buzzer, and it's a 1-point game.
North Florida transfer. He was a big-time player in the A-Sun. He was ready for this opportunity.
Evans lines up a 3. How about an immediate answer? Kyan Evans delivers.
I was a big fan of Kyan Evans at Colorado State. Played alongside Neat Clifford, played alongside Isaiah Stevens, both of those guys in the Kings organization. Just 2 really talented guys. He was brought along slowly at the point guard position. Now North Carolina reaping the benefits. Some of the tutelage under Nico Medved now at Minnesota.
Another deep 3. Smith, too much on that one. Offensive rebound. Morris goes up strong, and that rims in for 2.
Nice play, Cam Morris. Played at UMass Lowell in the America East, and here's Carolina's tempo.
That quick transition 3. Misfires from the corner. Jonathan Powell. You like that look, though?
I really do for Carolina. They play fast. They're enforcing tempo. Now we're going to get a break.
Yeah, Cam Morris limping at midcourt. So the referees blow this play dead, and we'll step away with 11 minutes left of this first half. 2-point game.
Jalen Smith, he gets one loose, and in Carolina playing fast. Kyan Evans, he can do that.
Been a fun first half so far at Chapel Hill. North Carolina a 16-14 lead. Caleb Wilson on the bench right now. But a good start for the Tar Heels this season, 9-1, and one of the biggest reasons why, number 8, Caleb Wilson, one of the best players in all of college basketball.
Could be the best player in college basketball. I know there's a lot of talk about the guy that's right down the road in Cam Boozer, and he's very good too, don't get me wrong. But as far as natural gifts athletically, Caleb Wilson's up there. And you could throw names like A.J. DeBanza in there, but Caleb Wilson, how he moves around the floor, how he works for positioning, he's about the right things. This freshman class, we've talked about it and talked about it around the country. Just so special. Caleb Wilson, obviously, a big reason why.
Shot clock ticks down to 4. This has been the game plan all night for ETSU. A deep 3 off the mark from Brian Taylor, but an offensive rebound keeps the possession alive for the Buccaneers.
Offensive boards over the last 2 games. 22 offensive rebounds against North Carolina. Got that little tidbit from UNC's beat writer.
Yeah, Hubert Davis not happy with that. Told us before the game he wanted fewer paint touches And no offensive rebounds because it can lead to second chance points. And just like that, Brian Taylor fires ETSU in front.
That's just a really good offensive possession. And here's the thing about those offensive rebounds, Jay. It's coming against teams. That's a good call. It's going against teams that crash their guards. Exhibit A, last possession. Matthews the third. Crashes from the corner, as you'll see. Just a nice job. It's the push off afterwards. I actually thought he had pretty good position. It was the push, the shove after that got Stevenson.
Gives the ball back to ETSU. The team playing with a lot of confidence on the road against the number 12 team in the country. What can the Tar Heels do to speed ETSU up? Because they are getting exactly what they want on offense, taking this shot clock down once again.
I think the biggest thing is continue being disciplined as long as you can, just simply because they're not going to turn it over because of how their sets are being run. But you have to finish possessions with a defensive rebound. Obviously a huge portion.
Stevenson trying to muscle through the double team. A deep three drilled. Jonathan Powell puts UNC back in front.
With Seth Trimble out, Jonathan Powell has proven that he can be a guy to come off the bench and give you quality minutes. And he's a guy, Jay, that you have to watch his game for extended periods of time to really appreciate him. He doesn't turn the ball over. He shoots high percentages. He guards well. He's pretty athletic, too.
A career high 17 points last time out. Good rejection at the rim. Henry Vasar says no.
Not only did he say no, he said absolutely not. Vasar, how about the length? 7'1". It doesn't matter. Pretty good set, backdoor cut, but when you're that long and athletic, you can get back into play. Vasar not giving up on that backdoor.
The ultimate rim protector. ETSU still with the ball. 5 seconds on the shot clock. They gotta hurry here. Barkley just gets it off in time and cashes in. Blake Barkley ties it up at 19.
Blake Barkley, just a really good player. 17 points, 7 rebounds in his last 3. Just understands positioning and how to get there. A little too aggressive here, though.
Called for the foul.
But the change in coverage, though. Ball screen on the side. Hedge jumps out. You look back. That rotation from ETSU has to be a little bit faster. And that's a big foul for ETSU. Blake Barkley gets 2. He heads to the pine.
It has to come out here with 8:22 to go in this first half. Floated into Vasar.
Nice pass.
Leads to a good look from 3. No good from Kyan Evans. Foul called against Vasar for the reach. That's his first. ETSU making life difficult for the Tar Heels so far in this first half. Brooks Savage has to be happy with how his team is playing.
Well, they're rotating really well. And whenever you send 2 to the ball, your rotations have to be good on the backside. And what that's doing is it's forcing Carolina to make those extra passes. They're finding shots. But Evans needs to be shot ready. That's something that's a little different this year. Because he's doing the majority of the ball handling, I feel like that's taken a lot more out of him in terms of prepping for his shot. But he's being relied on a lot more to just initiate the offense. Good defense.
Shot clock violation, you said it. Excellent defense from Henry Vasar as the Tar Heels are dialing in their defense.
The ball moves. Good hustle by Stevenson. The extra pass goes left 45. Jonathan Powell from West Virginia with love. Knocks it down for the Tar Heels.
Tied at 19 in the Dean Dome between ETSU and North Carolina. An opportunity to see the Tar Heels 6 days from tonight. Doubleheader right here on ACC Network. American at Virginia gets things started. And then it's ECU against UNC. The 2 teams in the top 25 for the ACC. Duke, Louisville joining as well.
Virginia, who I don't think people have talked about enough, are very good. 2 European bigs, Johan Grunlow, Tysta Ritter, super talented, super old. We've said diaper dandies before. Tyster Ritter played for Bilbao Basket and won the Champions League. He was their leading scorer. He's a little older, so I'm not giving him diaper dandies. Heads up.
Lift off. Brian Taylor hammers it home, and ETSU, after creating the turnover, back in front.
Terrific backdoor set coming out.
Hubert Davis won't like the turnover out of the timeout. And the Estonian gets the Euro step for 2.
Vasar nimble of foot. Excellent catch and finish.
Those long strides paying off for the 7-footer, and he's got 6 points tonight.
No, but not only with those 4 teams ranked in the top 25, 8 teams out of the Atlantic Coast Conference in the top 50 of the net. And I love the net as much as I love a hangnail. But it matters this year because there's more quad 1 opportunities within league play. Not a bad foul.
Yeah, it stops the transition, which ETSU's done a really good job of limiting in this first half. North Carolina cannot get into their rhythm transitioning from D to O.
Terrific backdoor cut. Awesome pass by Miles Taylor. He knows what to do. And then on the other end, look at the sweet feet of Henry Vasar. Little finger roll for good measure. So talented is this young man. Get a look at Jaden Young, who hasn't played a whole lot of minutes.
Number 4 in white, transferring from Virginia Tech. Kick to the corner, a 3. Too much on it. McCollum tracks it down for ETSU.
Stevenson over the last 2 games, 1 of 8 from 3. Got to be shot ready, knowing that your guys are going to come in and double team. Get your butt down a little bit, base a little wider.
He's just shooting 20% from 3 on the season.
And he's a better shooter than that.
Morris into the lane, kick out, a 3. McCollum missed it. Offensive rebound again.
And what is it? It's a guard, Makai Johnson, coming in across the free throw line. If you're a guard, and here's the deal, it's a double-edged sword, because if you're Carolina, those guards like to leak out a little bit so you can play fast. You got to hit and get. Don't let that guy crash from the wings and the corners.
Shot clock down to 3. ETSU 7 second chance points tonight. Almost had another, but that just rimmed out off the backboard. Tied at 21. Points have been at a premium. Good defense on both ends.
Nice offense.
Evans wide open. He'll make you pay. Kyan Evans.
Just really good offense. Jaden Young taking the initiative. Baseline drive. Not much of a baseline drift, but he hangs in the air long enough. And the good, better, best, the one more pass from Jaron Stevenson leads to an open 3.
Evans 6 points to go along with 4 assists tonight. Shot clock down to 5. This is what ETSU has done this entire first half. Although this time they turned it over. They've been playing comfortable at the end of the shot clock, but Brooks Savage team turns it over that time.
Jaden Young, a little ball movement. Hubert Davis, he's going to be happy about this. Jaden Young, nice play, and the one more pass to Kyan Evans, who shot 44% from 3 last season, Jay. This is a guy who can really knock down shots. I feel like it's coming, and I feel like if there's one guy who's been hurt more than anybody else by Seth Trimble's injury, it's been Kyan Evans.
Wilson, tough take, draws the foul.
The reason I say that, Kyan Evans being hurt by Seth Trimble being out, Seth Trimble gives you that secondary ball handler. Kyan Evans, through his first couple of years of college basketball at Colorado State, was a guy who would give it up and end up turning back into a 2-guard. That's the reason he was settling into his shot. Trimble gives him that ability to do that. But this season so far, Evans only 30% from 3, a much better shooter than that. I expect that number to jump up more and more, especially when Trimble comes back.
And Hubert Davis giving a very positive update on Seth Trimble yesterday, saying he's returned to 5-on-5 practice, should be back sooner rather than later. Getting close to having Trimble back, who's missed the last 8 games with a fracture in his arm. And Hubert Davis said, look, he is a game changer. A lot of people think he's a game changer on defense, but he thinks he'll impact them offensively like you're talking about, even more so. Transition three, rattles in and out, no good. Another offensive rebound, and McCollum puts it home for two. Tar Heels getting crushed on the glass. 9 second chance points tonight for ETSU. And a turnover.
And if you'll notice here, ETSU has only attacked advantage situations when somebody's falling on the ground. Then they'll push, or they'll press, then they'll push.
Well, the Buccaneers fearless on the road in the Dean Dome against number 12 North Carolina. 2-point game.
All right.
It has been a close, competitive first half. UNC up by 2. Now here in Chapel Hill, the Puppies run will be at halftime. You'll be watching the Nothing But Net crew in studio. We'll have a full recap for you when we come back in the second half. These are the Puppies coming from the beautiful Together local animal shelter here in Chapel Hill. They visited the team in practice earlier today, and look, they're all named after players on the team. So you got Henry and Dixon and Wilson, and even got Coach Hubert Davis there in the glasses, T.O. How are you handicapping this one?
I'm going 4-to-1 odds on Hubert because he's giving me Clark Kent vibes in the top right-hand corner.
All right, we've promised Taylor Tannenbaum and Luke Hancock and the entire Nothing But Net crew that we will keep everybody posted on what happens here at halftime in the puppy race. ETSU, they have hung tough. They've done it with good, solid defense and an offense running the shot clock down. Ticks down to 5 here. Cam Morris.
Good defense by Zayden High.
As the shot clock sounds, that bounces off the rim, no good.
When you play against Cam Morris, you have to stay on your feet. He loves 2 and 3 shot fakes at the end of his drive.
Wilson flies in the lane. One-handed jam. Caleb Wilson with a rack attack. And it's plays like that that have many saying that the best player in college basketball is here in Chapel Hill.
Certainly could be. My man had a runway for takeoff.
9 points, 5 rebounds to lead the Tar Heels tonight. Brian Taylor, unafraid. ETSU continues to attack.
He can do this. One of the nation's leaders in dunks. Terrific ball screen, little pass in the seam. My goodness, he cocked that back to Atlanta, where he's from. What a finish by Caleb Wilson. He's a special athlete. That goes without saying, but my goodness, can he get off the floor?
Well, the defensive end, Wilson commits his second foul. It comes out of the game. You know, we were saying about the freshman phenom, he gets fouled a lot. Well, you see a play like that, fouling him may be the only way to stop him when he gets ahead of steam down the lane.
That's absolutely right. And here's the deal, too. If you're the aggressor on the drive, you're much more prone and much more likely to get the foul call. He's taken that to heart. He lives at the rim. But let's be honest, too. ETSU's done a nice job on him, flooding to the ball and making him see bodies 2 and 3 at a time. The defensive performance so far for the Buccaneers has been really good.
Two-handed slam.
Just a really good offensive set. Jaron Stevenson catches it out about 15 feet. A guard goes and sets a down screen for a little curl in the middle. Vasar finishes it up.
Morris, nice turnaround in the post. Cuts the lead in half.
I will say this, if you're Cam Morris, no home run trots.
Vasar in a double team. ETSU relentless on the defensive end, and a foul called. As we tick just under 2 minutes to play in this first half.
Terrific screen. Jaden Young, he comes down. This is a set play. You're going to find Vasar's guy, excuse me. He's just going to curl around right in the front. Terrific pass, excellent execution by the Tar Heels.
Vasar goes to the line as North Carolina enters the bonus, shooting a 1-and-1. Makes the front end. The ETSU head coach Brooks Savage told us his #1 key to this game, no dunks. Did not want to inject life into this Dean Dome crowd. And for a long stretch of this first half, they limited it. But then Wilson, the one-handed slam, Vasar, the two-handed flush. It has injected some life, and North Carolina has upped the tempo since those 2 dunks.
Absolutely has, but on the flip side, when you get a little too juiced up, ETSU can take advantage. In a couple of plays, or the next play, Brian Taylor gets around Wilson, forces his second foul. So, again, double-edged sword, but I really like how East Tennessee State has approached this game so far. There we go. That's a big trap right here.
A 7-footer and 6'10", and the trap forces the turnover. Stevenson, lefty layup, and Carolina has their largest lead of the night. Timeout, ETSU.
Just a really good defensive possession, Jay. You're trapping a ball screen with Stevenson and Vasar. You force the turnover. Just really good plays by the Tar Heels, and Jarrett Stevenson finishes it off. Tar Heels turning it on.
Now, North Carolina has made their last 4 shots. They have their largest lead of the night, and they're sharing the ball real well. 11 assists on their 12 makes in this first half.
Handling ETSU's defensive pressure so far tonight. Only 5 turnovers, well below what ETSU's accustomed to forcing.
Kick to the corner, wide open, Johnson got it. Big 3 out of the timeout.
Excellent job, Brian Taylor, ball faking to the middle. Getting Mekhi Johnson's guy to sink down for a wide open 3 in the corner.
The freshman cuts the deficit in half. 50 seconds remaining. Immediate answer. Henry Vasar delivers.
He's so impressive. You know, talk about a modern day 7-footer. Henry Vasar. He dunks a couple of possessions. He knocks down a few threes. Just a really skilled, nice player. And what a pickup.
Leads all scorers with 13 points in this first half. Here's Cam Morris into traffic, rejected. Stevenson swats it. Here's Powell, hard take, and Carolina leads by 8. 5 seconds at the end of the half, a 3 off the mark. And for as well as ETSU played in this first half, it's Carolina that goes into the locker room with all the momentum and an 8-point lead.
Terrific job, Carolina. Picked it up on the defensive end. Really good half.
Let's get you into the studio. Taylor Tannenbaum, Luke Hancock have you covered. Back in Chapel Hill, Tar Heels leading by 8 at the half. As promised, puppy race at halftime in the Dean Dome. Your winner was Kai, named after Kai and Evans. In a heated race, took a little while to get going, slow out of the gate. But Kai, your deserving winner. You know, ETSU made life difficult in the first half for the Tar Heels. Terrence Oglesby, Jay Alter with you, but North Carolina, a surge at the end of that first half. They made their last 6 shots. They've got an 8-point lead.
And it started with their defensive pressure. These guys really turned up the heat, especially in ball screen situations, throwing multiple bodies at the ball, forcing some turnovers. But it's been UNC's front court. They have been terrific early. Caleb Wilson started off this game right corner pocket. That's a 3. That's where he's developing his game at 6'10", but using his natural gifts to be around the rim, live at the rim, chin at the rim. Caleb Wilson, something different as far as athletes are concerned, but Henry Vasar has really impressed me, Jay, with his ability, his sweet feet. He's athletic, he's long, he blocks shots, he can finish above the rim, and his shooting touch from the perimeter is that of a 6'2" guard. Just so talented. The modern day bigs, Caleb Wilson, Henry Vasar, so far 8 of 11 from the field. These guys are terrific.
Vasar leads all scorers with 13. They've combined the front court, Wilson and Vasar, for 22 and 10. ETSU very dangerous on the offensive glass, though. 9 second chance points. It'll be the Buccaneers that start with the basketball, and for 18 minutes they hung right with North Carolina. Neither team led by more than 4 during that stretch, but a late surge has given the Tar Heels an 8-point cushion to start the second half.
Have to continue to handle pressure. Not a good start. Caleb Wilson getting to the spot quickly. This is another part of his game. His ability to initiate the break himself at 6'10", make decisions. Just a tough fight. How about this? 4-5 ball screen.
Baysar floats it to Wilson. You know, big man to big man passing is so difficult, and they make it look easy.
Hey, how about big man to big man ball screen? That's 6'10", setting a ball screen for 7'1", and 7'1's the ball handler. I mean, you see at the NBA level now, it's a lot of guards coming up to set ball screens for 5 men. Nikola Jokic, they'd love to use him as the primary ball handler. Well, Carolina's taking a play out of the NBA playbook, using their 4 and their 5 in ball screen action. So difficult to guard because, 1, the size is a nightmare. 2, the guys guarding them aren't used to guarding those actions. So it's twofold.
Well, the number one thing Hubert Davis chased this offseason was positional size.
Mission accomplished.
That has shown up in a big way as the Tar Heels take a 10-point lead.
Defensive intensity over the last 5 minutes of that first half, Jay, really picked up for Carolina.
But again, in limited possessions because ETSU has slowed this game down. The Tar Heels very efficient offensively, shooting 64% from the floor. Morris trying to wiggle his way free. Good defense by Baysar.
Terrific box out by Kyan Evans. Offensive rebounds a point of emphasis. Terrific pass.
Powell can't cash in. Wilson, the offensive rebound and the two-handed slam.
Of course. How about Kyan Evans, though, getting down the lane, left-handed pass to the right corner, setting his guys up with opportunity. 6 assists in the first half for the Colorado State transfer.
McCullough pull up pop off the mark. North Carolina starting to separate. Baysar 3. Got it. Timeout ETSU.
The tempo starting to pick up, Jay. This Tar Heel team, terrific defensively. They're getting out and running, sharing the basketball at a high level. Corner 3, no good. Caleb Wilson, that's what he does. So athletic. Finishes that one quick, and then the extra pass to Henry Baysar. The Estonian sniper knocks it through.
Carolina finished the first half on a 5-0 run. They've started the second half on a 7-0 run. So what was once a one-possession game is ballooned to a 15-point lead. And Terrence Oglesby, they've done it with their size.
Absolutely they have. And you talk about North Carolina on the defensive end of the floor. It's not just their 6'10", 7 feet. It's that they switch out, they move, they trap with that size. There's a reason. The Tar Heels this season, second in the country in 2-point percentage defense, allowing only 40% for opposing teams on the defensive end of the floor. Inside the 3, so that size, it ain't just for show.
Good backdoor cut, and ETSU needed that basket out of the timeout. That puts an end to the 12-0 run.
Been impressed with Blake Barkley, number 13 for ETSU. He works hard, he cuts off the ball. Just a really smart player.
Wilson goes right at Barkley, playing with 3 fouls.
And then a terrific defensive possession. And here's the thing, he understands I'm not going to block the shot as the primary defender. I square him up. I maintain my defensive position. I let the guy come from backside. Cam Morris gets the block.
Barkley trying to back down Powell. Muscles his way to the rim. Missed it. Evans there to clean it up.
I thought that one was going on. Kyan Evans playing so well. Terrific pass on the double team.
That rims out no good from Powell. Evans with 6 assists in that first half for Carolina. A pass-first point guard. Traditionally, Carolina's got some point guards that typically are score-first.
100%. And here's the thing. Last year, R.J. Davis, he was a guy that would really attack to score for himself. Caleb Love before that and with RJ. And then you also have Cole Anthony years before that. And one of the things that Evans does as well as anybody is makes that advance pass. And it allows your offense to get into flow quickly. They enter the second side fast and the defense is scrambling. And this is when you get rewarded. I didn't hear the foul call, but
knows. Step out of bounds, turnover.
Pat Driscoll on top of it, but I think it's one of the more underrated parts of this season's North Carolina team, the willingness of their guards to let go of the ball and play quickly. Like Kyan Evans is not Ty Lawson fast. And I'm going way back in the yesteryear machine right now because that's who I played against. It was impossible to stay in front of him. But where he brings that same level of speed is letting the ball go. And that creates a certain type of rhythm for this Tar Heel team that does its best work playing quickly.
Yeah, it ignites the transition.
100%.
Not a ball-dominant point guard, and still finding a rhythm 10 games into a season with a new team. But Kyan Evans starting to play his best basketball in a Tar Heels uniform. After the offensive explosion at the end of the first half and a 7-0 run to start the second, Carolina scoreless for the last 2:30. Offensive rebound, tough take, count it, plus the foul, James Brown.
Get on up, James Brown. Offensive rebound, he's seldom used, he doesn't play all that much. But the man with the glasses making an impact in short minutes, James Brown. Got some moves around the rim, bringing some energy for the Tar Heels.
Introducing SportsCenter for you, personalized every single day. Now available on the ESPN app. Powered by your favorites.
Sports Center for you, and for Tar Heel fans, your Sports Center for you is going to be Caleb Wilson a lot this season. This was the one-handed tomahawk slam. You're going to see that later tonight on Sports Center Top 10. And that dunk really ignited the end of the first half surge for North Carolina. They ended with all the momentum, an 8-point lead, and they have started to separate here. 15-point lead.
That was a catalyst. That dunk. And we talked to Brooks Savage before the game. We can't let them dunk the ball. What ends up happening, they dunk it. A couple of turnovers forced. Carolina starts to feel comfortable. And we've seen the residual effects both at the end of the first half and here early in the second.
Shot clock down to 2. Morris draws the foul. And what's incredible about Caleb Wilson is it's coming, right? And you still can't stop it.
He's so athletic, and he covers so much ground with his strides that once he gets you on his hip, you're at his mercy. And I'm trying to find ways to describe how he moves in person. I'm going Jaguar, the cat with the car. This guy moves so well and changes direction with power. It's really impressive to watch in person. And I'm not sure, there's crumble cookies on the line here.
Yeah, the Dean Dome's starting to go crazy. If an opponent misses back-to-back free throws, everybody's leaving with cookies. And they'll have to wait.
Cam Morris hates cookies.
How does ETSU, who did so well in the first half, keeping this close, claw back into this one down 14?
I think it's hard because in order to stay close, they were playing at a slow pace. They're going to have to knock down some shots. And then they need to finish possessions. And I appreciate what James Brown is doing. He gets a foul on one end of the floor and then comes down. He's playing aggressively. And he's fighting for some extra minutes behind Wilson and Vasar. You applaud his effort. At the same time, play a little bit more cleanly, but continue to bring that effort.
And for 18 minutes, this was a back-and-forth first half.
Yes.
One possession game throughout. There's North Carolina, and a quick burst has gone up by double digits. A floater does find McCollum.
That's a tough set of forwards. Try to throw an alley-oop over.
McCollum going right at Vasar. Drills it.
He's talented, isn't he?
He's been the best player on the floor for ETSU tonight. He's got 9. Wilson right down the lane, everything but the finish. A foul on the floor.
But I mean, one step or one dribble, Euro step, covers a lot of ground. And I applaud Cam Morris III. He's done a nice job today. He's battled, he stayed in position. But I mean, the change of direction plus the size, it's what's really unique about Caleb Wilson. And I think really too, Jay, as the refs are talking a little bit here.
Well, they're trying to decide if Wilson was in the act of shooting or not. It was called a foul on the floor. Hubert Davis saying that he was going back up with it.
One of the underrated pieces of the great Tobacco Road Classic between Duke and Carolina. Caleb Wilson played with the Boozer brothers in AAU. Caleb Boozer has a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. So an added dynamic. The chip on his shoulder is well documented too.
Two of the best players in all of college basketball, part of this phenomenal freshman class that has brought so much excitement to the sport this season as Morris misfires. Carolina in control, a 12-point lead, but looking for more.
We haven't seen a ton of Luka Bogovic today. Guy comes over from Montenegro, nice pass. Oh my gosh, go gadget face off.
He just had a nice feed on the alley-oop.
He caught that ball behind his head. I mean, as good as Caleb Wilson has been tonight, and he's been very good, it's been Henry Vasar so far for me tonight. Some of the things that he's done on the floor have been outstanding.
On both sides of the ball.
1,000%. That's a tough shot.
The Estonian sensation, transfer from Arizona, and Carolina's using him so differently than Arizona did, and way more effectively.
1,000%, Jay. And here's the thing, too. At Arizona, he was rim running. At Carolina, Hubert Davis is letting him stop at the three-point line. That's where he's at his best as a screener and as a roller. Look at this pass and how he catches the ball. Tough angle. It was so much more impressive from where I'm sitting. Look, he catches it behind, able to put it in, maintain his balance at 7 feet. I mean, just really, really impressive. Hubert Davis wanted to get bigger. Vasar was one of the first ones to bite the bullet. And because of that, I mean, Carolina's a threat to win every single game they play this year and make a deep run in March.
Well, their fans will tell you they're expected to win every game in every season.
That's what the guy beside me said.
Now, with this roster, particularly the front court that we keep talking about, been outstanding this season. Caleb Wilson just made his 5th free throw of this game. In every game he has played in a Carolina uniform, he has made 5 free throws or more. He ties a record that Tyler Hansborough did, tied for second in the longest streak of consecutive games making 5 or more. When you're doing things that Hansborough did, that's good company.
The great Tyler Hansborough. Now, Professor Tyler Hansborough.
Yeah, they keep him busy here at Chapel Hill. He's an analyst for North Carolina Radio. He's a professor here at Chapel Hill. And Caleb Wilson already just 11 games into his tenure in a Tar Heels uniform is starting to get talked about in that rarefied air. And statistically, he's backed it up as he draws another foul. You know, the ability to get to the line is one thing, but to consistently make them. There's Hansborough through the crowd.
Now, that work ethic hasn't stopped, and you alluded to all the things he's done off the court. Now, his court is the pickleball court, where he's elite.
Oh, is he a good player?
According to him.
Wilson, pull up pop. Rolls around, does not drop.
I've had a chance to work with Tyler. I mean, just a great individual. Loves Carolina like nobody I've ever met before. Just passionate about his university and just stays involved. I've really, over the last 2-3 years, gotten to know Tyler. Fantastic individual.
Well, Smith just taking the shot clock down to 5. Now launches into the attack. Not much time to do it. Scoop to the hoop for 2. It worked out for Jalen Smith. We're looking to find Vasar in the post, and another foul called. ETSU has already committed 7 fouls, and now a technical foul has been called. So North Carolina is going to be in the bonus the rest of the way here. Brooks Savage, the Buccaneers head coach, is still looking for clarification on why a technical was called against Jalen Smith.
Jalen Smith, an emotional guy. And I'm going to be honest with you, so far this game's been really well officiated. I'm not sure how many times in my life I've said that, Jay Alter, but I'm willing to say it here. But here's the thing. Obviously, Isaiah Sutherland thinks that he gets all ball. The problem is you go over the side. I'm not sure what Smith said. We're going to take another look at it. Number 4 complains a little bit. I wonder if it was what he said.
So it sends Derek Dixon to the line to shoot the technical free throws. And then Carolina's going to get a 1-and-1 after this. Dixon makes them both.
And here's the thing, too. When you're outsized, and Sutherland is outsized, and he's a big fella, 6'7", 220 pounds. But Vesar, when he's posting up, he's wide. His frame is wide. His legs are spread. You have to move your feet quickly, and it's just such a difficult task when you're playing against somebody as large as Vesar. Man, he shoots a nice ball. I've just been so impressed. And obviously, you come in, you know what Caleb Wilson brings to the table. You know some of these other guys. Vesar, I mean, his role change here in Chapel Hill and his ability to function out on the perimeter, I just feel like it fits so much better here for Coach Hubert Davis. He's playing everything with speed. His advantage is size, athleticism, and the speed they allow him to play with.
Vesar has 20 to lead the Tar Heels tonight. Largest lead of the game for North Carolina after a close competitive first half. They have continued to separate here in the second. And push there against Jaden Young. ETSU trailing by 16. It has been all Tar Heels in this second half in the Dean Dome. We were talking about Tyler Hansbrough as the freshman phenom. Caleb Wilson, he's doing things that have not been done in a Carolina uniform since Hansbrough was on the court. He's now got 11 straight games with 5 made free throws or more, and he's done it in his first 11 games. We were talking about the professor. He teaches Me Joe 377 sports communication class with Livis Freeman and Steve Kirshner is a guest speaker. Roy Williams, the Hall of Famer in the house. I think Tyler's mastered what makes any great professor. That's bringing in elite guest speakers to help you out.
Can't imagine that class is too hard, Jay.
Oh, I've heard he's a tough grader. I've heard he's a tough grader.
Hey, look, I only say that because Tyler's my guy. So
you got to earn it.
No, absolutely.
You kidding me?
Absolutely. And
he's not giving any freebies.
And here his thing was, I'm trying to help journalism majors understand what they can and can't ask players, where the line is. And he takes a lot of pride in this. He really enjoys being a part of the UNC community. That's why he keeps coming back.
Jaden Young buries the 3 out of the timeout. And it is all clicking for Carolina in this second half.
That's something Jaden Young can do. Last year at Virginia Tech, had a couple of games in the high 20s, put 27 on Syracuse. Streaky, though. I mean, it's hit or miss. If you get him on the right night, though, he's a guy who could come off screens. You could set up some offense for him. Needs to work on his consistency level, though. But the talent is there.
Barkley playing with 4 fouls. 2 good looks and couldn't cash in. That's the type of second half it has been for ETSU. Dixon fires one in transition, follows his own miss. Stevenson lays it off for Vesar, and he muscles it up, and it drops in for 2. Henry Vesar, 22 points tonight to lead all scorers. Carolina on a 9-0 run.
And Cam Morris just looks at his teammates, says, guys, there's not a whole lot I can do right there.
Right back to Morris, and he missed it again. Vesar dominating that matchup right now. Transition triple off the mark. That's
Bogovat's spot. He loves transition threes off the bounce. And look, do you love that shot? If you're Coach Hubert Davis, not necessarily, but you know his ability when he hits one, 2 or 3 more are coming. Very much a rhythm shot for Bogovac.
And Bogovac is still scoreless tonight, so even though this has been a lopsided second half, North Carolina outscoring ETSU 22-9 since the break, Bogovac individually is yet to get going.
And here's the thing, too, Jay, I played in Europe for 8 years. Like the Adriatic League, where he comes from with SC Derby, very fundamentally sound. Nice set on the baseline. Very fundamentally sound, very clean game, very scout heavy. Not as fast, not as athletic. So it's an adjustment, right? And he had a lot of success at that level, averaged over 14 points a game. But the sheer speed of the college game, very different than what he's come from in Montenegro.
And certainly the speed that Carolina wants to play at as Vesar continues to dominate. He's up to 24.
They love that guard to post screen. Throw it baseline 15 feet out, have the guard go and screen for the center who curls around about 8 feet. Vesar, such a soft touch around that spot. Underrated guy today. Jonathan Powell has played really well on the defensive end of the floor. Tough call here. But Jonathan Powell has disrupted this game with his work defensively away from the basketball. He's blowing up actions. He's blowing up down screens with his physicality. I'm telling you, Jay, like that's a guy that the more you watch him, the more you appreciate his game. Safe for the basketball, doesn't turn it over, really good on the defensive end. Count me as a fan.
Wilson all over Morris as the misses continue to pile up for ETSU. They've missed their last 6 shots. It's allowed North Carolina to go on an 11-0 run. Give and go, Wilson to Vesar. Oh, getting the VW. This is the best front court in all of college basketball.
Are you coining the VW? I love it, by the way, Joe.
A career high, Henry Vesar, 26 points tonight. Well, they need some sort of nickname.
They certainly do. What a pass, though.
And the Carolina faithful are on their feet in what has been an outstanding second half. 7 straight misses now for ETSU. The Tar Heels have done it with defense. The transition is going. Wilson with one hand claws that in. It puts it up for 2. Timeout ETSU. The Tar Heels on a 15-0 run.
Henry Vesar, he's got 26, career high, 10 of 11, finishing around the rim. Gosh, he's been good. Terrific patience off the pass. Carolina got a good one. Henry Vesar has been out of this world good, showing every little bit of his game. It's been all-encompassing, Jay. His ability to knock down shots, finish around the rim, play with balance, a feathery touch from 3, and the ability to finish above the rim. This guy has been terrific. And I'm going to be honest, too, his ability to stay on balance at that size has been fantastic.
And statistically, this is the best front court in college basketball. When you take a look at 2 players, they average 35 points per game tonight. They've got 43 outscoring ETSU as a team, even with that made 3 by Mekhi Johnson. And that ends a near 5-minute scoring drought for the Buccaneers.
What'd you call him, Jay?
The VW. Somebody makes a placeholder until somebody thinks of something better, but you need something 11 games into this season.
Jay Alter brings the heat. Print the T-shirts. It's a new day.
Wilson and Vesar, the dynamic duo in a reborn Carolina front court. And when they play like they have played in this second half, it's going to be tough to stop. Smith somehow finds Barkley through traffic, and he is fouled. That's James Brown committing his 3rd foul in limited minutes.
Blake Barkley I love his aggressiveness. This is a guy that could end up being an all-SoCon level player. He's got good size. He puts it on the deck. He attacks with a certain fierceness. It's going to be a handful in the Southern Conference.
Now, Brown has only played 4 minutes tonight, but he has committed 3 fouls. As we look ahead to our final women's basketball doubleheader of the 2025 ACC Network year. Pitt at Notre Dame, North Carolina in Chestnut Hill to take on Boston College. That is December 29th, right here on the ACC Network. Bogovac still scoreless. Nice cross-court pass. Wilson. Shot clock ticks down to 5. Wilson does such a good job getting to his spots on the floor and cashing in.
And when you can hang in the air for 3 seconds, it makes those shots a lot easier.
That helps. 19
patience.
points tonight for Wilson. And outside of a tomahawk one-handed jam, it's been a quiet 19.
If there is such a thing. And here's the thing, too. His patience and his wherewithal. Nice shot by Sutherland. To fake the handoff, gets down the block, checks the score, or not the score, excuse me, the shot clock. Look at this.
Wilson going for another highlight slam, and he's fouled. He gets everybody out of their seat, including you.
Yep. I want to take another look at that. I know it's a missed dunk. It might be the greatest missed dunk of all time. Look at this, up there with Greg Oden and what he just tried to do. Oh my gosh, that is incredible. Head at the rim. Look at this. I mean, I admire the intestinal fortitude to try that. He wasn't all that close, but sometimes style points matter, Alter.
You cannot teach that. He came in.
Can't teach it, but you can sure try it. My only thing is I'm trying it on a Nerf hoop. He's doing it on a real life 10-foot goal. And he's doing it with people draped all over him.
7 made free throws tonight. And now 20 points for the freshman phenom, Caleb Wilson. And there have been some incredible freshmen to put on the Carolina uniform, and right now he leads all of them in points per game as a freshman.
They don't talk about Joe Forte enough. I remember number 40, baggy shorts, had everybody wanting to buy that jersey.
A lot of people talking about Caleb Wilson.
He was a bucket once upon a time. Different player, but Caleb Wilson.
I think there's a lot of different players than Caleb Wilson.
I mean, there's not many like him.
Exactly. He continues to rocket up the mock drafts. But Hubert Davis told us he's not focused at that at all. He is so locked in. That's a shot clock violation. McCollum didn't get it off in time. Wave off the basket. Hubert Davis told us that Caleb Wilson is so locked in on being present.
To talk about style points, let's go ahead and give McCollum a couple. Hey, here's the thing, though. James Brown, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He didn't go out all the way after it. Some athleticism on full display tonight at Chapel Hill. Nice action. Oh, my goodness.
Passing out of the double team. Finds Powell for a 3. Missed it. Hard foul in the pursuit of the rebound. Camp Morris colliding with Bogovac.
What a pass by Kyan Evans to go completely cross court. And Hubert Davis told us before the game, we're going to have another look at this. I mean, you talk about all-out hustle. I need that ball more than you. A little tangle up. Nothing dirty. Just a couple guys playing hard. But Hubert Davis talked to us today about how aggressive East Tennessee State is attacking ball screens. They're looking to cause turnovers. You saw how they flooded to the basketball, not just on the ball, but all the help side rushes at that side of the floor. For Kyan Evans to be able to get that ball out of the trap, pretty impressive.
And Evans with 6 assists tonight.
All in the first half. It's been a different half, right? Like, second half, a lot more sets called for Vasar, for Caleb Wilson. It's been a little bit different in how this game's been played.
It's been played at a much faster tempo after ETSU did a great job making it a half-court game in the first half. Brown trying to pull down the rebound. He draws the foul.
James Brown's been everywhere
when he's been on the floor.
Yeah, exactly right.
And Carolina now in the double bonus, so Brown shooting 2. He's got a good basketball bloodline. His cousin Corey Brewer, who won 2 national championships with the Florida Gators.
Now coaching in the NBA from Portland, Tennessee. The great defensive players in college basketball history.
Brown 0 for 2 from the line. This game was close and competitive back and forth for 18 minutes, and then Carolina found a new gear. But when you think about it, what changed from the way ETSU was able to hang around for most of that first half to now Carolina just keeping their foot on the gas and dominating in the second half?
It felt like East Tennessee State early in this second half was trying to get that 8 points back quick. And throughout the course of the game, when they've played faster, it's played into Carolina's hands because shots have gone up. They haven't been in offensive rebounding position. And another thing, too, Jay, in this second half, 1 offensive board. Stark contrast from the first half, where that's where East Tennessee State was able to have some of these 40, 50-second possessions and take the air out of the game.
Another foul call. And Brown at the center of it. And he'll shoot 2 when we come back. Carolina, a comfortable lead. 71-49 with under 4 to play. Oh, the college football playoff right around the corner, and Saturday we've got you covered right here on ACC Network. It'll be all Miami as they're at College Station to take on Texas A&M. It all starts 11 a.m. Eastern Time with the huddle. Noon Eastern Time, the Skycast hometown radio. Don't want to miss that. Miami, I think they're poised for a little bit of a run here as the college football playoff kicks off this weekend. And you know, Derek Dixon and his family will be watching. His father, John Dixon, played football at James Madison in the late 80s, early 90s. How about the Dukes? James Madison in the college football playoff, taking on Oregon.
Was a split end.
Yeah, split end, which nowadays would probably be classified as a wide receiver, but yeah, listed as a split end, number 42 for JMU. And obviously, Dixon getting some minutes here. He's had a strong start to his freshman campaign.
Ooh, tough move.
A good take from Brian Taylor.
Brian Taylor last year at SIU Edwardsville. Second team all OVC. Can really score.
Stevenson will make you pay. And another dunk to add to a few highlight jams tonight in the Dean Dome.
2-3 zone by Carolina here. Hey, if you're going to trap a ball screen, you better get out of it quick. And the action behind you needs to be really good, because if you don't get there quick enough, you end up giving up dunks down the lane. McCollum a half-second short, gambles, hand in a cookie jar. Stevenson, it's not bad.
You know, the 2023 North Carolina Gatorade Player of the Year, spent 2 years at Alabama before transferring home. Stevenson, and 4 points tonight to go along with a career-high 4 assists.
Coach's kid, played for his dad at Seaforth High School.
And all the attention on Vasar and Wilson, but he adds a lot of length to this Tar Heels front court. Also at 6'10".
And he can have big games. If you remember a couple of years ago for Alabama, they played Clemson in the Elite Eight. He had 20 plus in that game, knocking down shots, getting hot at the right time. But I like his versatility.
There's going to be a game where he gives Carolina 20.
100%. And in all the other games that he doesn't give him 20, he gives him defense at 6'10", nimble, athletic. There's something to be said, too. I've talked to a lot of coaches around the country about guys whose parents either played in college or their parents coached them in high school. The expectations of what they're going to be like on a day-to-day basis a little bit different. And coaches have come to appreciate that their parents just kind of let them go. They let them be coached. A little bit different with some of these guys. I like Derek Dixon. He's a multi-year guy. He knows how to play. He's got good size at the point guard position. You talk about positional size, 6'5".
And you never know in the craziness of college basketball with the portal and everybody changing teams every season, but you feel like Derek Dixon's going to be a player, potentially a face of this program for the next few seasons. As Caleb Wilson moves on to play professionally in the NBA. Stevenson left alone. Can't do that. 2 jams for Jaron Stevenson.
Open side pick and roll, quick advance pass with the backside wide open. That's just good offense for Carolina. ETSU taking their foot off the gas a little bit defensively.
38 points in the first half for Carolina, 39 in the second half, and they've done it 2 completely different ways. As this game has really opened up since halftime. I think that's a big positive, T.O., that, you know, pace can be multiple different phases, and Carolina still finds a way to score.
Well, that's absolutely right. And here's the thing, too, 9-1, soon to be 10-1. Not all your games are going to be pretty. You got to find ways to win in the mud when it slows down, when it speeds up. I really like what I've seen from Carolina, and conversely, long distance.
Deep 3 from Young, and a rebound that goes off Carolina last. Ball with ETSU.
Conversely, if I'm Brooks Savage and ETSU, I'm really happy how my team performed for about 25 minutes. They competed on every possession. They attacked the offensive glass. They showed some toughness. And I'm a big fan, as you are too, Jay, of Brooks Savage as a head coach.
Well, he's got a bright future.
Oh, he certainly does. Went to University of Tennessee for undergrad, worked for Bruce Pearl, spent time under Steve Forbes, both at ETSU and Wake Forest. Really smart guy from a conference in the SoCon. It seems to be the next place for high major head coaches. Lamont Paris at South Carolina, Steve Forbes, Wake Forest.
Buckyball.
Absolutely, at Texas A&M.
Texas A&M.
Yeah, Bucky McMillan, who was at Samford.
Yep.
As you see here, Ed DeChellis spent time at Penn State. Les Robinson, who you know about.
Yeah, athletic director at North Carolina State as well, in addition to being the basketball coach there. You know, interesting, Ken Pom has ETSU favored in all their remaining games. So think about Brooks Savage in this team. You could see them in March if they win the SoCon. And they'll learn from this.
They're going to be up there. It's them. It's Mercer, who has some real talent, by the way, at the guard spots. Barako Okoji, excuse me, played at Memphis last year. Kyle Cuffey Jr. played at Syracuse. And then Furman. We'll talk about size for a Southern Conference team. Bob Ritchie has put together a squad that's young in the backcourt given, but certainly some talent.
This was a one-possession game with 2 minutes left in the first half. Great pass. Carolina went on a 12-0 run. Good look there from Elijah Davis, Hubert Davis's son. Couldn't connect. You enjoyed watching Hubert and Elijah before shoot-around today, getting some father-son time on the court.
That's how I spent a lot of time with my dad. I told Hubert, you know, I almost brought a tear to my eye. My dad passed away 5 years ago, and that's something we did together. And sometimes it's just father and son working on a jump shot together. There's something comforting in that for me.
And he said it's the first time they've been able to do it all season. It's been a busy start to the season for Hubert Davis, and he just texted him, hey, shoot-arounds at 3, get here at 2, get some father-son time, and now get some court time with North Carolina leading comfortably. And it has been comfortable throughout this second half.
Classy to end it that way. Carolina today, Jay, absolutely terrific, especially that front court. Henry Vasar, fantastic.
A career high 26 points to lead the way. Carolina wins it 77-58. The Nothing But Net crew standing by. They've got you covered. And a busy night at the ACC. Taylor, take it away.